Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie Coons, and I am President and CEO of the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce. And welcome to the Greater Washington Good Business Awards. Today, we recognize the businesses and leaders who make Northern Virginia and Greater Washington an extraordinary place to do business. It is my pleasure to recognize our new Board of Directors, to honor the Chamber's outgoing Chairman, Kathryn Falk of Cox Communications, and to welcome our incoming Board Chairman, Luann Gutermuth of LSG Solutions, LLC. During this pandemic, the Chamber's membership has demonstrated the resiliency and strength that is the bedrock of economic success in our region. Concurrently, our membership has risen to the social and economic challenges of our time, and today we honor individuals and organizations for their contributions to our region. Leadership during this time has also come from the Chamber's Executive Committee and Board of Directors. They have made significant contributions to leadership in our region, and I am honored to work with them to ensure that the Chamber is meeting the needs of our members and businesses across Greater Washington. So please meet our new officers. Chairman, Luann Gutermuth of LSG Solutions. Vice Chairman, Matt McQueen of Peraton. Secretary, Deb Gandy of Chevy Chase Trust. Treasurer, Susan Mosier of Cherry Beckert. General Counsel, Judith Cassell of Saul Ewing, Arnstein and Lair. And immediate past Chairman, Kathryn Falk of Cox Communications. The officers are joined by the Executive Committee and charged with keeping a close pulse on the needs of the membership. The Executive Committee joins with the Chamber's full Board of Directors in providing leadership to the Chairman and its initiatives. The Board of Directors is a broad representation of companies from diverse industries that all contribute to Northern Virginia's vibrant business community. These are some of our most active members making a difference in the success of the Chamber, but also committing their time and talent to efforts that make Northern Virginia and Greater Washington a fantastic place to live and grow a business. The names that you are seeing now are those who are new to the board or renewing their term. Please join me in thanking all board members who have committed to serving the Chamber and advancing our business community in the coming year. In a moment, you will hear from our outgoing Chairman, Kathryn Falk, and our incoming Chairman, Luann Gutermuth. Please let me add my personal thanks to Kathryn for her amazing leadership this past year. Her focus, laser focus on membership value and the role of the Chamber as a regional leader has been inspirational to me and has resulted in important initiatives. I also wish to join many others in sharing my excitement for Luann Gutermuth's upcoming leadership year. I look forward to working closely with her and congratulate her on assuming this important regional community leadership position. And now to Kathryn.
Thank you so much, Julie. 2020 was, in fact, the most challenging year in every respect possible. Unprecedented is almost an understatement. I'm so pleased to report that your Chamber team demonstrated tremendous leadership over the past 12 months. In membership during this stormy year when other groups lost large numbers of members, the Chamber retained 99% of membership revenue while also growing new membership revenue considerably. And we're proud to welcome so many new marquee members, including Nestle Corporation, AWS, and Verizon. And thanks to Julie Coons and the team, including Shannon Jamerson, Mitch Weintraub, John Woodstock, Rich LaFleur, Mike Carlin, and more for their work on membership. From a financial standpoint, your team delivered a positive financial year with top new regional executives joining our leadership team. Absolutely remarkable. Thank you to Susan Mosier for her leadership as our treasurer. And we led. In the pandemic response, we led. The Chamber immediately embraced the opportunity to lead in responding to the pandemic. Together, we stood up the Back to Work Coalition and created a corresponding web portal for business-related COVID information. This broad coalition positioned the Chamber as a leader among leaders in Northern Virginia. Thank you to Julie Coons and Todd Rowley of Old Dominion Bank for his leadership on this. In workforce, we led. We positioned the Chamber to lead on workforce through a partnership with Aon and Accenture to create the Greater Washington Apprentice Network. Special thanks to Janet Osborne of Aon and Luann Gutermuth for their help in this effort. In social justice, we led. We took very public stands on issues of equity and inclusion, established a diversity, equity, and inclusion board of advisors to provide thought leadership on the best way to make a positive impact in our region. All of the board's recommendations, I'm pleased to tell you, have now been incorporated in our strategic plan. Thank you to John Allen of Wells Fargo, my co-chair of that board of advisors, and to all the board of advisors members for their engagement, and also to Kay-Ann Shaneman for her strategic guidance. In advocacy, we led. The policy committee transformed our policy agenda into a more succinct and impactful document and expanded our social equity components in that, while also gaining more participation. Thanks to Matt McQueen of Peraton, our policy committee chair, and also to Clayton Medford for their leadership. And we conducted a PAC review to ensure that the processes and all of the processes supporting the PAC were completely aligned with the Chamber goals and objectives. So thanks to Scott McGarry, chair of the PAC, for his support in that, and also to Judith Cassell, our general counsel, for her support. We also took advantage of the crisis to plan for the future. Congratulations to Luann Gutermuth for leading on our strategic plan, which you'll hear more about later this year. I'm so proud to have worked with each one of you to achieve success in 2020, despite the most challenging circumstances ever. And on a personal note, I want to thank my wonderful husband, Paul Brandis, and my daughter for their support this year. It's been an incredibly difficult year for me personally, as I lost both of my parents in the last 4 months. I honor them, and I share a quote that my father instilled in me as a child by Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. Life is action and passion, and those who fail to participate in the actions and passions of their times run the risk of being judged not to have lived it all. A special thanks also to the officers of the Chamber. You had my back, and I am so grateful to have been a part of your team. I also want to congratulate our Lifetime Achievement winners, Kathy Lang and Stu Mendelson. You have been terrific mentors and guides to me through the years, and I'm grateful. Together, we have not only weathered this storm, but we took advantage of opportunities in this crisis year to position our organization for even greater success in the future. And now I pass the gavel to a great new leader, our new chairman of the board, Luann Gutermuth.
Good morning. Thank you for being here to recognize the many wonderful companies and individuals in our business community that are making a difference in Northern Virginia and the Greater Washington region. I am so humbled to serve as the 2021-22 chair of the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce. I'm particularly honored to follow Kathryn Falk in this role. She has been an incredible, amazing leader for the Chamber through what has been just an incredibly challenging year. Kathryn, thank you for your strong, positive leadership, your vision, and your friendship. I also want to thank my former boss at Washington Gas and longtime mentor, Adrian Chapman, also an amazing leader and past chair, for getting me involved in the Chamber a decade ago. Adrian was very intentional about involving a broad number of Washington Gas individuals in activities at the Chamber. And his approach became known at the Chamber as the Washington Gas model. And it's something I would encourage all organizations to consider. It's a great way to increase your value of the chamber membership, and also to provide development opportunities to leaders in your organization, and also to give them the opportunity to build relationships in our business community. I know I've certainly benefited both personally and professionally from the friends, trusted advisors, and role models I've met through the chamber. So, speaking of the business community, this past year clearly demonstrated the indispensable role our business community plays in the overall health and success of our greater community. As we enter post-pandemic life, our business community has the opportunity to come back, to build back in a way that addresses workforce challenges and regional inequities that have existed long before COVID. I've heard our fantastic CEO, Julie Coons, describe the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce as a community organization. It's no surprise then that the Chamber's new strategic plan focuses on 3 areas that undergird the success of our greater community. First, regional leadership, contributing to solutions which address issues that cross county and state boundaries. Second, diversity, equity, and inclusion, promoting systemic change to create equitable access to opportunity. Third, workforce, attracting talent and matching skill sets required by employers. Of course, these 3 areas are interrelated, and sustainable progress will depend on our ability to create and implement solutions that promote regionalism, foster equity, and grow talent. Thanks to the Chamber leadership and the outstanding Chamber staff, I have the good fortune of beginning my term at a time when membership is growing and our financial position is solid. Also, as mentioned, we've adopted our new strategic plan that will help shape and focus our work over the coming year. I'm so excited to serve with our fantastic officer team, Vice Chair Matt McQueen, Secretary Deb Gandy, Treasurer Susan Mosier, General Counsel Judith Cassells, immediate past Chair Kathryn Falk, and with the incredible leaders that make up the Executive Committee. Sincere thanks to each of you for your willingness to commit your time and talent in service of our business community. Before closing, I want to take this opportunity to thank my husband, Mike. I couldn't ask for a more supportive life partner. And to thank our 3 adult children, Caroline, Jack, and Matt, who inspire me to do better and be better. Finally, thanks to you, our chamber membership. I believe you're a part of the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce because you believe in the value and importance of our business community. Together, we will continue to make a significant impact on the DMV region. Again, it's an honor to serve as your chair. Thank you.
Again, thank you and congratulations to both Kathryn and Luann. I'd now like to take a moment to recognize the outstanding corporate partners that make today's program possible. Our premier partners, Verizon and USI. Our elite partners, Care First, Cox, Grant Thornton, Helios HR, Innova, Kaiser Permanente, Mantech, Peraton, Pillsbury, PNC, Transurban, and Washington Gas. And our business partners, who you can see on your screen. Now it is time to turn to the awards for Nonprofit of the Year and Good Business of the Year. And I'd like to welcome back our chairman, Luann Gutermuth. Luann?
The Greater Washington Good Business Awards honors and celebrates the leadership of individuals, businesses, and nonprofits that serve as powerful champions for good in our community. From social responsibility champions to nonprofit organizations that help solve the region's greatest challenges, the Good Business Awards honors purposeful community leadership efforts that make a positive impact. We received some phenomenal nominations this year, and the companies listed on your screen are all doing amazing work that impact the greater Washington region and beyond. The company receiving the award for Nonprofit of the Year is working to address issues related to health disparities and removing barriers to optimal health care through grants, programs, and public policy advocacy. And the recipient of the 2021 Good Business Award Nonprofit of the Year is Kaiser Permanente. Please welcome Ruth Williams Brinkley, Regional President of Mid-Atlantic States, Kaiser Permanente. By the way, Ruth is a new member of our board of directors. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you, Luann, and good morning. I am Ruth Williams Brinkley, and I am pleased to serve as the president for the Mid-Atlantic region of Kaiser Permanente. I just want each of you to know how special it is for us here at Kaiser Permanente to accept this award as the Nonprofit Business of the Year. I want to thank the Northern Virginia Chamber for this honor, and I am also very pleased to be a new member of the Northern Virginia Chamber, and I look forward to working with each of you as an incoming board member, and just really want to contribute and to continue being that organization that you have chosen to receive this award. Just a little bit about Kaiser Permanente. Our mission is to provide high quality, affordable healthcare services that ultimately leads to improvement in the health of our communities. That really starts with individuals, and it means that we deal with people who are sick, and we try to keep them healthy. We try to keep people healthy, but all of us get sick at some point. And so we deal with illness and health all along the continuum. We also are committed to giving care that goes way beyond the walls of our 34 medical centers, I would say soon to be 37 across this region. In that regard, it means that we partner with businesses and employees to help you to keep your employees healthy so that you can have access to people who are healthy and who are going to be able to show up and to make positive contributions to your business objectives. When our businesses are healthy and we have a healthy and thriving community, that means that we all do well. Our outstanding and brave 1,700 primary care and specialties physicians, as well as our 8,000 employees, are here to serve you and to serve this region at all of our locations. And this was especially important during this past 18 months of the pandemic, when these brave people went out each and every day to work and to help care for those who came to us as members and responsible people. We wanted to keep them healthy. And it was important that we make a safe environment for them to come to and to make everyone feel safe, that they weren't going to become ill by coming in to one of our clinics or one of our medical office buildings. This has been really important during the pandemic, and it will continue to be important as we continue to work through this next year and the years to come. We collaborate across Northern Virginia and the region to address social health needs as well as physical needs as part of our model of care. Since 2019, in addition to serving our businesses and their employees, we've made over $1.36 million in charitable contributions to community-based organizations in Northern Virginia. These contributions support the health and well-being of community members here in Northern Virginia. In addition, we recently specifically announced a partnership with George Mason University to commit $175,000 to support social health in Northern Virginia. This is just one of the many ways we support well-being in Northern Virginia. We are committed to this region. We are committed to Northern Virginia. We also are proud of a deep and abiding commitment to equity. One of the ways that we are demonstrating this commitment is through our partnership with Google and the Community Foundation of Loudoun and Falk counties. Together, we are supporting minority-owned small businesses impacted by COVID-19. Our partnership has established a $75,000 fund that will allow minority-owned businesses to apply for grants of $5,000 to $10,000 to support their business needs during the community. So in summary, I would just like to say we look forward to our continuing engagement with the Chamber, with your members, and to support the issues that are important to Northern Virginia. We want to continue meeting the healthcare needs of this region. I want to thank the Chamber for honoring us, for recognizing us, and let you know that we are quite privileged to serve you, and we want to be your resource for healthcare. And I want to thank you for recognizing what we do in this region. Thanks.
Congratulations again, Ruth and Kaiser Permanente, and thank you for all you're doing in our community. Next, we're recognizing the Good Business of the Year. This company is using their resources to advance racial justice through working with nonprofit organizations and devoting thousands of pro bono hours to combating discrimination in the areas of criminal justice, housing and economic justice, and voting rights. And the recipient of the 2021 Good Business of the Year Award is Hogan Lovells. Please welcome Kathryn Stoik, Office Managing Partner for Hogan Lovells.
Thank you, Luann. Good morning. I'm Kathryn Stoik, Office Managing Partner of the Hogan Lovells Northern Virginia office. Thank you to the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce for honoring Hogan Lovells as the Business of the Year. While 2020 marked the celebration of the 50th anniversary of our law firm's pro bono department, the year also brought a host of new challenges within our community. Despite the obstacles of closed offices, virtual meetings, postponed court dates, and other hurdles, Hogan Lovells had a record-breaking year of community service, with our lawyers performing over 115,000 pro bono hours in the United States. In addition to our pro bono work, in June of 2020, we established a broader commitment to advancing racial justice to reform systemic societal barriers that profoundly impact people of color. Last June, Hogan Lovells pledged to devote at least 65,000 hours of professional time in the coming years to combat discrimination in the areas of voting rights, housing and economic justice, and criminal justice. To this end, since last June, our Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. offices have provided more than 20,000 hours of pro bono work in support of efforts to advance racial justice. Our specific matters have included a successful lawsuit in federal court in Virginia to extend the voter registration deadline after the Commonwealth's voting system went down on the final day of voting registration. Joining with housing advocates to stop unlawful evictions and the demolition of the historically Black public housing community in St. Paul's Quadrant in Norfolk. Partnering with the ACLU of Virginia on pandemic-related issues impacting voting rights and the spread of COVID-19 in Virginia's prisons. And finally, and most recently, we won a $75 million verdict in a pro bono civil rights case on behalf of two wrongfully convicted brothers who had been incarcerated for 31 years for a crime they did not commit. Hogan Lovells has a deep heritage in Northern Virginia, having established our office here over 35 years ago. We are proud to use our legal skills to serve our region at large. This Good Business Award is the result of the hard work and dedication of our lawyers and our business services staff who are deeply committed to this amazing community where we all live and work. On behalf of Hogan Lovells, thank you to the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce for recognizing our law firm as the Good Business of the Year.
Congratulations, Kathryn and Hogan Lovells, and thank you for your impressive commitment to addressing discrimination and inequities. And now, for the Chamber's highest honor, the Lifetime Achievement Award. This year's award will be given to two individuals who have a proven track record of leadership and service in our business community. Kathy Lang, partner with Human Capital Advisors, and Stu Mendelson, executive partner of Holland and Knight. Both of these leaders represent the best our region has to offer and what makes Northern Virginia and the business community so successful. To truly get a glimpse into the impact of these exemplary leaders, we thought it would be helpful for you to hear from those closest to them. So now let's introduce Kathy.
Lang is a partner with Human Capital Advisors, and she's the founder and president of Business Works of America. I've known Kathy for 18 years, and she has been successful for decades in the management consultancy industry. We all know that Kathy is an amazing executive coach and leadership development professional, but it is her way of being and her actions in greater community that I believe has won her this award today. Kathy naturally rises to the rank of top leadership in every organization that she embraces. She served on the executive committee of this chamber for many years. She served on the executive committee of the Community Foundation for Northern Virginia's board for many years. She's a current member of the 123 Club, of the George Mason University National Leadership Council, and she currently chairs two boards of directors, one for Fairfax Futures and the other for the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. So the pattern is clear. She's a natural leader, but that's because there are some things about Kathy Lang that are really very special. First, Kathy is blessed with a deep wisdom and deep insight. And yes, that is a gift, but it's also something that she has consciously cultivated over the course of her entire life. She sees what others miss, and she understands what is left unspoken. She's not following some book or formula. She is completely authentic. And as such, she functions on a higher level of engagement. The insights are deeper, and so the outcomes are better. Secondly, Kathy is bold, and that's not just some adjective I use lightly. It's a way of being. It's a way of moving through a world that often gives lip service to boldness, but doesn't always reward it, not by any means. Kathy is fearless, and it's what I admire about her the most. She says what needs to be said. She asks the most uncomfortable questions. She's not checking some box or window dressing a resume. It's power, and Kathy's got it. She's at her very best walking into a situation that needs change. Open that change door, and Kathy's the first one through and taking everybody with her. Finally, what I love about Kathy and what truly makes her profile so extraordinary here in Northern Virginia is her lifelong commitment to greater community. She brings all of her prodigious talents to it, her boldness, her wisdom, her insight, and she leads with great fervor and dedication. She insists on action. She wants greater community to serve those who need it the most. And she will only choose a cause to champion that deeply resonates with her. That is a magic formula for impact. Kathy, you inspire me every day. You want to help, you want to make a difference. And when you commit, you leave nothing on the table. That's the kind of person you've chosen to be. And it just so happens to be exactly the kind of leader our region needs. It's a great delight and privilege today to help thank you for your leadership and for the care and concern you have shown our entire region, and to recognize you today with Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce's Lifetime Achievement Award.
I know Kathy Lang because she is my chair. She's the chair of the Economic Development Commission of Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. And she came, she was elected to the chairship in 2016. And she actually led the recruitment that brought me to the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. And let me see, she's such a special leader. You know, you have to give honor to a person like this. She identifies leaders, she coaches leaders, she grows leaders, she shapes them, and she helps build them. And I think that's the really most wonderful thing about her. In her time in Fairfax County, I mean, she's given her time and her talent and her resources to really build the community. I mentioned the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority, but she has also been a big part of the 1-2-3 Club, for example. Her service to the Community Foundation for Northern Virginia, her service to the Northern Virginia Chamber. She served as chair. Her leadership in Fairfax Future, her leadership on the George Mason University National Leadership Council. She's done so much for this community over the years, and she does it really seeking to make this the greatest county that a person could live in. She does it really for others and not for herself. And I think that that's, you know, if there's a characteristic that I could use to describe her, it would be servant leader, because she has a purpose of service in her heart as she looks to help others. And I mentioned earlier, you know, it's important to recognize people, but you really have to give honor where honor is due to a person like this who gives it just unselfishly. Kathy has, for almost 2 generations, provided tremendous support to our community, to the nonprofit sector of our community, to the educational sector of our community. And she's done this just out of her heart, out of the goodness of her heart, out of the grace of her heart. And when a person does this for a community, when a person gives of themselves to the community, and it's so genuine, I think that's why she really deserves this award. She's not only done it once, she's not done it for 10 years, she's done it for year after year after year, and simultaneously building her own company. I mean, for her to be an entrepreneur over the last 30 years, a partner in her firm, building her organization at the same time as building the community, that is a really, really mammoth task for anyone. And she does it effortlessly. I mean, her ability to get things done is just amazing. She provides a clear focus. She provides a clear strategy. She lets people do their best work, and she encourages them to grow. And I think all of that really makes her, I think for me, the best chair, and, you know, certainly the best boss that I could ask for in my lifetime. I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority team, and on behalf of me personally. You deserve this great award, and the community loves you. Thank you.
I want to thank Eileen and Victor for their kind words and an amazing introduction. The fact is that in knowing both of them and working with them has made me better at who I am and what I do, and I appreciate that deeply. So here's the story, my story. About 4 decades ago, I was pondering my future, working in the high-tech industry, being asked to move all over the country. And I decided to plant my feet right here in Fairfax County. And what that meant was I wanted to work here, I wanted to live here, and if it was going to happen, raise a family here, and of course, get involved in the community. As a native New Yorker, I felt there was something different about Fairfax County in Northern Virginia, something on the brink of greatness. And I wanted to be a part of it. And it turned out my intuition was correct. My first step was to join the Fairfax County Chamber of Commerce, now the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce. Not just join, but get involved, including the board. Soon I left high tech and started my own company and had many offers of help to get it going from chamber members. And over 30 years later, as a member of the chamber, today as yesterday, I'm part of a committed group of business leaders, making Nova one of the best places to do business in the country. Once, I was at a chamber luncheon and happened to sit next to Sharon Bulova, then Braddock District Supervisor. who subsequently hired me and my firm to do coaching and team building. We forged a bond, a trusted relationship. And years later, as chairman of the Board of Supervisors, she appointed me to the Economic Development Authority. That was 12 years ago. And currently I serve as chair. First lesson, plant your feet so you can build a garden of long-lasting relationships. You never know what's going to happen. I had the great fortune to become a mother. My daughter, who I've asked permission to say this, had some issues with auditory processing diagnosed in preschool. Without early intervention, it could have derailed her educational success. Fortunately, we could afford to get her all the help she needed. Fast forward, she's a graduate of William and Mary and pursuing her master's at George Mason. It occurred to me that every child, and I mean every child, should have a more than fair shot at success. And many families have limited resources, so we need to help, because we know more than 80% of a child's brain is formed during the first 3 years, and what they experience during this window can irreversibly affect how their brain develops and how they learn. Hearing about a nascent nonprofit, Fairfax Futures, whose mission is to focus on early childhood preparedness, opened up the door to my next lesson. By the way, it's not that I really had time to lead a nonprofit, running a business, raising a family, other commitments. So like any other crazy person, sign me up. Fast forward, the seeds have been sown. The time is ripe for more investment in early childhood education and the educators that teach our children. Second lesson, let your heart, not just your head, lead you to how you want to make a difference. At some point, I learned more about the Northern Virginia Community Foundation, now appropriately called the Community Foundation for Northern Virginia. Turns out the word community was loud and clear in my head and my heart. What were we doing to advance the community? Under the leadership of Eileen Ellsworth and with the leadership of an extraordinary board, we worked to transform our organization from a some impact organization to beyond your imagination impact, and it continues today. Third lesson, after you plant your feet, do something that grows your garden. Lady Gaga, one of my favorites, says it's best. I think tolerance and acceptance and love is something that feeds every community. Once again, nurture what you can because you care about it so it can grow. There are many more lessons. Put people around you who are life affirming, willing to give you honest feedback, love you when you can't love yourself, help you see what you cannot see. I want to thank my incredible husband, who really is the hero, a therapist who has worked with close to 1,000 clients during this year of the pandemic alone, put up with his unfair share of chicken pot pies when I have meeting commitments at night, and my creative and beautiful and brilliant daughter, who frequently corrects me on my overmothering. To my business partners at Human Capital Advisors, our strategic human capital consulting and coaching firm, I've learned from each of you and have had great fun growing our business together, making a difference for those we serve. And to my clients, old and new, thank you for your trust in me and your courageous work in building leaders to carry your organizations forward. To my longtime mentor and friend, Frank Ponzio, to my many friends and colleagues, you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you. While this is a lifetime award, in the words of Monty Python, I'm not dead yet. So I plan on continuing to grow my garden here, making sure every child, every young person, and all others in our community have the support, education, and economic opportunity to succeed. And as chairman of the EDA, I must add, we've got to fill those 80,000 jobs in the region. I want to thank the chamber and the former chairs for this lifetime award.
Congratulations, Kathy. Now we'll hear from two of Stu Mendelson's closest colleagues.
In 1995, 3 new members were elected to the Board of Supervisors: Stu Mendelson, Dana Kaufman, and me. Chairman Kate Hanley assigned all 3 of us to seats together on the left side of the dais. So Stu and I sat next to each other for 8 years, and we became great pals. Stu brought to the board his experience as an attorney, a former school board member, and a Chamber of Commerce member. In those days, the relationship between the chamber and the board was somewhat adversarial, but I've always thought that Stu played an important role in paving the way for a more collaborative approach between the two entities. Our paths may have been different, but our goals to make Fairfax County a premier place to live, work, play, and learn were the same. As the Drainsville District Supervisor, Stu was a force behind the development of Tyson's and the Tyson's Partnership, a role he continued after leaving the board. And look at Tyson's now, and we're not done yet. Although we didn't always vote the same way on county issues, it was never with animosity. Stu didn't shy away from controversial projects that benefited his district, and he always recognized the potential ethical conflicts that might face an elected official who also is a practicing attorney. When Stu announced his decision not to run for a third term, he cited the challenges of work-life balance that is so necessary for a happy family life. His daughters were preschoolers when he was first elected, and I always remember what he told me about his decision not to run again. I've already missed their elementary school years, and if I run again, I'd miss their high school years too. Stu made the right decision. Being a dad was and is his most important job. In the ensuing almost 20 years, Stu and I have stayed in touch. His commitment to good government continues, as does his community involvement. At a time when some of the national public discourse is filled with harsh, theatrical rhetoric designed to divert and divide, I hearken back to the collegial relationships that, at the end of the day and debate, actually serve the community and constituency in a positive way. Balanced budgets, good schools, safe streets, prudent land use decisions. Stu's pragmatic and principled approach, whether in politics or business, provides a template for success. And I am so pleased to say, congratulations, Stu, on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. It is richly deserved, my friend.
I first met Stu when I was an assistant manager for a branch in Crystal City, now National Landing. And he was an employee of a government contracting firm that did naval work in that area. He came in to see me to open a checking account, and we just struck up a friendship. And I remember one of the first pictures I remember getting that he brought in to show me was of Stu in this deep sea, kind of bubble diving suit. And it just struck me because it didn't jive. And the reason being is people who know Stu as a lawyer, but I know that Stu's first educational experience was from the Florida Institute of Technology, and his undergraduate degree is a degree in ocean engineering, and his master's degree from FIT is in environmental engineering. So he started his career in the ocean, and that's how I've known him. And I've known him ever since when he went to law school. And both George Mason and FIT have a perfect record on the football team, never having a loss. In the time that I've known Stu, he's always been someone who wanted to be involved, and he's always wanted to make a difference. From the very beginning to really up until now and continuing to his present activities. I knew him when he wanted to run for the school board, became vice chairman of the school board. I knew him when he decided he wanted to run for the board of supervisors, and all the activities since then. I mean, it's if you list them all, it's the Tyson's Partnership, it's the Tyson's Land Use, it's NVI, BIA, it's NAOP, it's the chamber. Of course, he's been chamber chair, executive committee board member for as long as I can remember. Boy Scouts, the Kiwanis, where he was a statewide governor, Boy Scouts, where he also was a national area advisor. And he was also the former state president of Virginia Special Olympics. So he's got a pretty wide involvement. So I think when you look at Stu, you just see leadership and involvement and stewardship. He is the embodiment of that. And in fact, he was probably my entree and my mentor for all the activities that he and I did together through all of those. He would always reach back and say, "Do you want to get involved with this?" He's someone it's very hard to say no to. Just the manner of the ask and the long time friendship. I remember one of my first organizations I belonged to was the Private Industry Council, that he brought me in as a new member, and he wanted me to be the vice chair. And some have heard this story, but I think it's a great story that Stu wanted to have a vice chair. He was chairman, and I show up to my first meeting with my long-term friend, and he announces before the beginning of the meeting that he's going to be running for office and he can no longer be chairman. He hands me the gavel and walks out the door and laughing all the way. And that was my first exposure to being in a organization and having any kind of leadership was trial by fire, thanks to my very good longtime friend, Stu Mendelson. Stu not only deserves the award, but over a career and his lifetime in Northern Virginia earned from every step. He's always sought to be involved, to make a difference, to make an improvement in the lives of others, and not necessarily to improve his well-being. I think that is the embodiment of a statesman, of a leader, is that he leads where others need to go, whether they knew about it or not. And Stu has always been the visionary that has brought pieces of Northern Virginia and the Commonwealth together for the betterment of all citizens of the region, not just himself. This award is so earned, and I'm so happy that you chose me to be one of the individuals to help introduce those individuals who may not have met you for whatever reason to this great event and to this great award. And thank you for everything you've done for me and everything you've done for this region.
Thank you, Penny and Todd, for those kind words, and some of them are even true. I'd also like to thank the Chamber for this honor, and also for the past chairs who I've had the privilege of working with for over 30 years, and it's just been a great privilege to work with the Chamber. Also I can't pass up the opportunity to thank my partners and colleagues at Holland and Knight who've supported me in all my activities all these years. And also, most importantly, my wife, Laura, and my two grown daughters, Michelle and Sarah. I couldn't have done it without their support and all the time they missed having me because I was out at meetings, and all of the involvement I had. They've been totally supportive of me the whole time. And so I have to thank them and appreciate them for all that they've done. Let me also congratulate Kathy and the other awardees, truly deserved on all fronts. And Kathryn, a great job as chairman. And let me be the first to welcome you to the past chairs group. And it's a great group, and we look forward to working with you in that role. You had a great year as chamber chair, and we appreciate it. You know, I've always been active in the community in my entire life, and it's just been important to me. But it's through the chamber that I tell people that they're the ones responsible for me getting involved in the public involvements that I had, the public engagements over the years. The chamber's played such a key role for so many years in transforming Northern Virginia from a DC bedroom community to one of the top places in the country to live, work, and play. And I appreciate the opportunity the chamber has given me to play a part in that. You know, serving on the board for this many years and many other leadership roles, it's just been tremendous opportunity to give back to the community. You know, when I first came here after college, this will age me a little bit, or show you how old I am. Maybe that's why it's lifetime achievement. But the Beltway was relatively new. A much smaller Tyson's Mall was brand new. We had no Dulles Toll Road. We had the access road, which is a parkway. And other than trees, the only thing between Tyson's and the Dulles Airport was one building in Reston. It's just truly transformed this area. And now we're a much sought after location, not only to live, but to locate major businesses. The EDA and the county have been so successful at expanding Fairfax County into just a vibrant area. We work with both the chamber, we worked with both the Republicans and Democrats in local, state, and federal governments to help them better understand that as businesses succeed, the region thrives. Business success has provided many jobs, funded top schools, plentiful parks, and many services. Without successful businesses, none of these would have been possible. Now, while there are many challenges ahead, I'm just confident that with the Chamber's continued engagement, this region will remain successful and grow even more than we could dream today. So thank you again for this recognition, and I just appreciate everybody's support over the years and look forward to seeing the continued success of this region.
Congratulations. And thank you, Kathy and Stu. I'm so pleased to honor your accomplishments today. You both are truly, truly deserving. Thank you. Congratulations again to Luann Gutermuth as the incoming chairman of the Chamber Board of Directors. And thanks to Kathryn Falk for her past year of outstanding leadership. Thank you also to our Chamber partners for supporting our programs and initiatives and their leadership in our community. And with that, I will conclude our program today and wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for celebrating with us.